Now for those of you who feel that Epcot really needs more of those thrill rides that a lot of us do love, get ready to jump up and down with joy because believe it or not, Disney has confirmed that the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride will be a roller coaster. Disney's Vice President of Epcot, Melissa, actually confirmed this during the 35th anniversary celebration for Epcot. Now we first heard about Guardians of the Galaxy coming to Walt Disney World during the D23 Expo a few months ago, and that was really exciting to see it announced there, but we didn't hear anything confirmed until now. Now we do know it's going to be a roller coaster. That has been confirmed, but there are a few unconfirmed reports now that I'm reading that I wanted to share with you. One of them is the fact that apparently you're going to be in the building, the main building, the Universe of Energy building, get in the roller coaster, and then like it's going to launch you off into another building that is, get this, 10 stories high. 10 stories high. Really? Like how are you going to go from the Universe of Energy building, which is basically right on the ground, up 10 stories. Like I'm trying to envision this. It's gonna be amazing. Now to give you some perspective, Tower of Terror is 18 stories tall. So a little bit of perspective there, but imagine launching your way from that Universe of Energy building, or that's what it's called now, and then going off into a 10-story building about maybe a little over half the size of the Tower of Terror. Now I've also read that this new roller coaster is going to be a first of its kind ride system. I have no idea what that means. I really don't, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting, and knowing Disney, they're really going to outdo themselves and outdo our expectations. To say I'm excited about this new roller coaster coming to Epcot would be a gross understatement. I have to tell you, I'm thrilled, I'm out of my mind excited to see this come to life. Now I love Rock 'n' Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios. It's actually one of my favorite rides at Walt Disney World, but you might think that makes me a roller coaster guy when in reality I'm not. Now even though I'm not a big roller coaster guy, I do love Rock 'n' Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror on top of that. And you might be wondering, Michael, how can you love those and say you're not a big roller coaster person? Now I don't just love Rock 'n' Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror just because I love Walt Disney World. If I didn't like it, I would say I don't like it even though it's at Walt Disney World. That being said, the reason why I do like it is because it's fun, it's amazingly themed, but the biggest reason, I don't feel like my brain is hitting up against the side of my skull when I'm riding one of the thrill rides at Walt Disney World. That's just me. That's just my opinion. I feel like it's very smooth, very nice to ride. I don't feel like I'm being knocked around all over the place. I don't like that feeling. I like the fact that Disney kind of keeps that away. Now maybe it's just me, it could be just me, and that is fine, but Rock 'n' Roller Coaster, even though it is a roller coaster and it has the name roller coaster in the name, it doesn't really feel like a roller coaster to me. Now to give you an example about what I mean about being knocked around in a roller coaster and your brain kind of hitting the side of your skull there, even though it doesn't really, it just feels like it, is this ride called Fahrenheit at Hershey Park, which is actually relatively close to me. Now this ride called Fahrenheit, and yes it does actually look like that. It's hard to imagine, right? You go down and you're kind of like going in there. It's unbelievable. But this ride is a true roller coaster. Now the roller coaster Fahrenheit is so intense it actually has a drop that goes down and kind of goes more than 90 degrees, like inverted roller coaster. And to me, it's just, that's not fun. That was not enjoyable. It's scary, and just looking at that picture makes me get short of breath here. Like I did not like that one. Even though Rock 'n' Roller Coaster does have those loops and the corkscrews, it's nothing like Fahrenheit because it is so smooth. Now why am I talking about this? Why am I comparing Fahrenheit, a massive roller coaster at Hershey Park, to Rock 'n' Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios? The reason is there are a few folks in our community who have expressed a little bit of concern about Epcot getting this roller coaster. It is totally okay to hesitate a little bit there and say, Disney, what are you doing? Like, what is it really going to look like in a few years when it's done? I totally understand that. I kind of feel the same way a little bit, but at the same time, this is Disney. They know how to make rides that are perfect for all ages. Now that doesn't mean that my grandmother's going to ride this ride, and she's never ridden Rock 'n' Roller Coaster or Tower of Terror either. She actually did do Test Track though, and she loved it. But the idea is that Disney knows how to make rides for kids as young as 7 or maybe 6 or even younger, all the way up to kids at heart 70s and 80s. So they really know how to make rides that appeal to a lot of people. This is going to be the first ever roller coaster at Epcot. Can you imagine? It's going to be incredible. But I wanted to say I also love those themed attractions, Soarin', Test Track, Frozen Ever After, Living with the Land. These are attractions that I love at Epcot. I don't want to see them going away or being replaced with just roller coasters, and that's something I wanted to say. Roller coaster's great, it's going to be fantastic, but let's not replace everything with that. It's just going to be a few here and there, small changes, but overall that feel of Epcot I want to stay very similar to how it is now. That's just me. So do I think the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster will be popular at Epcot? Yeah, I do. From kids to kids at heart, I have no doubt the lines are going to be super long and a lot of people are going to love it. But you know what that means? Maybe a soar and walk on. That would be fantastic, or maybe not. We'll see. So what do you think? Are you as excited as I am for the new Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster coming to Epcot maybe in a few years? Or are you not really much of a roller coaster person and you don't like Rock and Roller Coaster or Tower of Terror and think this might not be for you and you're looking forward to those lower crowds at other attractions? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.